By 1944, the Panzerkampfwagen WW2 better known as the King Tiger, entered the European theater with the reputation of an unstoppable apex predator. Its tactical metrics were devastating. This 150mm sloped frontal armor paired with a high-velocity 88mm gun allowed the tank to destroy nearly any allied adversary at range while remaining practically impervious to return fire from the front. But warfare doesn't happen in a vacuum. During the massive German retreats across Normandy and the Ardennes, this theoretical superiority ran headfirst into a harsh geographic reality. Out of only 492 King Tigers produced, a staggering number ended the war as roadside scrap, scuttled and abandoned by their own crews. To understand why a machine built for total battlefield dominance spent more time stranded than fighting, we have to look at the exhausting logistical commute required to move a 70-ton behemoth to the front line. The King Tiger was simply too heavy to drive long distances under its own power without burning out its engine. Strategic deployment depended almost entirely on the state rail lane network. This cross-section of the standard European loading gauge reveals the first major bottleneck. At 3.75 meters wide, a combat-ready Tiger II would physically strike tunnel walls and trackside signals. The workaround was backbreaking. To fit on these specialized SYMS flat cars, crews had to jack up the 70-ton tank, strip off the side skirts, remove the outer road wheels, and swap the wide combat tracks for narrow 660mm transport tracks. Before the tank ever reached the battlefield, its crew was already exhausted by a mandatory complex assembly process, one that had to be completely reversed at the unloading point. Once the tanks were off the trains, the road march presented an even greater obstacle. European civil infrastructure in the 1940s was built for civilian cars and light transport, not 70-ton armored vehicles. This map illustrates the Allied bridge classification system. Most rural and secondary bridges were rated at Class 18 or 24. The King Tiger, at Class 70, was a structural impossibility for the vast majority of existing crossings. Because the heavy tank would instantly collapse these structures, commanders were forced to take massive fuel-draining detours, searching for reinforced bridges that could hold the weight. In contrast, the Allies relied on standardized modular engineering. Portable structures like the Bailey Bridge allowed them to rapidly push heavy equipment directly over obstacles, keeping their advance moving. By stripping away the Tiger's deep water wading capabilities to offset its ballooning weight, German designers left their apex predator at the mercy of surviving bridges, paralyzing its strategic mobility. Every mile of forced geographic detour ground the King Tigers drivetrain to pieces, causing the vehicle to literally destroy itself from the inside out. The tank relied on a 700-horsepower Maybach V12 engine, a motor originally designed for vehicles weighing 25 tons less. Pushing 70 tons cross-country resulted in catastrophic fuel inefficiency, burning through a gallon for every 2 miles off-road. Manufacturing shortcuts to speed up production made the problem worse. The new double-link tracks were designed so that they only engaged with every second tooth on the drive sprocket. This skipping design created violent snapping jerks that traveled directly into the final drives, systematically shattering the tank's transmission under the 70-ton load. Field maintenance was a logistical nightmare. The complex, overlapping road wheels would pack with mud and freeze solid, requiring hours of labor just to access inner components. Often, a simple repair required physically lifting the entire engine out of the hole. Because Germany lacked recovery vehicles powerful enough to tow 70 tons, a single empty fuel tank or a minor mechanical failure transformed a temporary delay into a permanent loss. This is the typical end of a King Tiger deployment. Immobilized in a muddy field by a shattered gearbox or a dry fuel tank. The crew would be forced to rig their own invincible machine with explosives, blow the engine compartment, and walk back to their lines on foot. The Tiger II was a product of engineering isolation. Designers achieved absolute tactical dominance for a stationary duel, but they ignored the physical infrastructural realities of the European theater. The Allies prioritized standardized, mobile armor that could reliably reach the battlefield. Their victory was built on systemic mobility, not individual technical specs. Localized firepower is meaningless without the logistics to support it. The King Tiger was a terrifying weapon, but ultimately, it strangled itself under its own weight.